It hasn't been 2 years.
If you read the title, you know we watched Love, Simon.
Love, Simon. Love it, comma, Simon.
Right. Which is based on the book by the same name and...
No, book by the name of Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda.
Oh, so when you were reading that book, that's the book that was the... Okay, see, I didn't know that.
I'm so glad they renamed it because that's a really convoluted title.
It really isn't when you think about it.
It could have worked Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense.
It does. Love, Simon works better though.
And because it's a play on the whole gay agenda thing that everybody says, and Homo sapien being human, and also plays towards heterosexism and all this shit. So I get it.
To kick it off, I didn't know what to expect going into this movie. I really didn't. I heard the reviews were good, so I was kind of like, oh, we'll see how it is. This movie was fantastic.
It was actually really good.
This was my second time seeing it.
Yeah. For once, it's his second time seeing it, and not my second time seeing it.
Now it just needs to be a movie that like I want to fucking fanaticize over.
No, this movie was like beautiful.
What's the name of the main character who played Nick? What?
His name is Nathan, isn't it?
I don't know.
I got it.
Let's say I had to stop watching going on my phone right now, and if I look it up, it might like change. Cause I know I'm normally the person that looks that shit.
You're like the Wikipedia.
Yeah. But yeah. So Love, Simon. This is
Nick Robinson.
I knew it was Nick something. I knew it was Nick something. With Nick Robinson, this movie is another movie really coming to the forefront within the last few months, dealing with LGBT issues on the male side. Call Me By Your Name got nominated for Best Picture and Best Actor as far as Timothy Chalamet and all that stuff. And that movie,
Best Adapted Screenplay, which you won, and I thought that was very accurate.
That's what's up. And I mean, it's like I keep saying, and I mean, I guess we can get into a deeper discussion because that's the point of this fucking movie. But I keep saying that right now, like, acceptance is cool, man. And
yeah, for all of you out there that don't think acceptance is cool, acceptance is A-okay.
But I mean, like, not even just for LGBT, but for everything. In 2018, acceptance is like what is like the shit right now.
And I'm like glad that it's acceptance and not tolerance. It really bothers me that people are like, oh, well, and we have to establish tolerance first. But the goal shouldn't just be tolerance. The goal should be acceptance. Whether you agree with something or not, you should accept that that is a thing. You shouldn't tolerate it.
Why don't you, for half a second, since you were going down that road, why don't you kind of describe the difference between the two?
The difference between tolerance and acceptance. So tolerating something really, at the heart of it, is seeing it, not trying to understand it, not trying to get a grasp on what it is, acknowledging it, but kind of just like brushing it off to the side. Whereas acceptance is, okay, I understand that you are a homosexual, or you are bisexual, or you are pansexual, or you are transgender, or whatever. I don't understand this thing. Give me the knowledge that I need to understand this thing. Okay, now I understand it and I can accept you for who you are. Whereas tolerating something is just being like, oh, well, yeah, so-and-so's gay. I don't really agree with it, but whatever. Like, to me, the word tolerance is very toxic when it comes to creating a society of love. You don't tolerate things that you love. And you don't have to love everybody. Nobody loves everybody, but you do have to accept everyone for who they are.
Isn't it
you can't accept people from a place of ignorance.
Is it possible to be accepting and just not necessarily be okay with it?
No.
Okay.
That's not possible.
Okay.
You can't accept someone or accept what they are or who they are and not be okay with it. Like, you can understand, but that's like, and that's where the difference between tolerance and acceptance.
I guess that's what I was like, just
that's
kind of for discussion. Like,
yeah, that's
like
where the difference. That's where the difference really comes in. Is like you can understand something, but to really accept someone, you have to just be like, okay, well, that's fine. That's who you are. There you go. But to just be like, well, yeah, I get it, but I don't agree with it. Like, then you clearly don't
and to bring it full circle, to make it not just about, you know, big issues, but about the movie itself, because this is a review show. That is really what Love, Simon is all about, obviously, is that Simon has been, you know, going about his life, living, you know, in the veil, so to speak, of being heterosexual, but he is
in the closet.
Yeah, in the closet, but
he's like, what are you trying to say?
I was saying,
let the LGBT person in the room die.
Okay, go ahead.
God damn, straight people are stupid.
Shut up.
So, Love, Simon, the synopsis of the movie is Simon is a 17-year-old boy who has been living in the closet for his whole life. He doesn't look much older than 17.
I don't know, I just see. You can tell he's in like his 20s.
Yeah, I think he's in his early 20s or something like that. But Simon is a 17-year-old boy who's been living in the closet or whatever, and he starts a online relationship via email with codename Blue. And exactly. Through that, someone gets a hold of his emails and blackmails him.
Martin.
Yeah, fucking Martin. And then he is outed.
We spoiler alert. We have not said spoiler alert at the beginning of it. Like
they know by now. Like
I'm just saying. Like I realized that we haven't said that in like Black Panther. We didn't say that. That's why I was saying. But no, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so he gets outed. Very unfortunately, in a very
fucked up way.
In a very realistic and very fucked up, for lack of a better term, way. And the resolve of it all is that he's like, hey, yep, I'm gay. There you go. Do with this what you please. However, the person that I was emailing, I fucking love you. Let's do this.
Where you at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty. Well, that was pretty cool. The one thing that I said to Jeremy, I was sitting next to the three of us were sitting, you know, next to each other, but I was closer to Jeremy for this one. And the one thing I said to Jeremy halfway through the movie, and then I ended up gaining more respect for the movie after he acknowledged it in the end, was halfway through when Martin is blackmailing Simon. The way Simon is trying to be able to stay in the closet and you know, keep his secrets so that we can help help Martin by trying to hook him up with Abby. You know, Martin's a fucking dipshit. But like the way he's trying to help him or whatever, and then like, you know, like the way he was manipulating his friends, I leaned over to Jeremy and I'm like, I'm kind of not liking Simon. Like, as much as I'm rooting for him, I'm not liking Simon right now.
And see,
because I get what he's doing it for the big picture, but it was for selfish reasons. But then in the end, when it came around and it wasn't just a typical, oh, Simon, I understand, you know, even though there's a bigger feeling of, you know, staying in the closet and all this shit. You know, it's still, you can't just be like, oh, Simon.
No,
because like you said, people's lives, bro.
And like
when the movie acknowledged it, I respect the movie more for acknowledging it.
I personally did not lose any sympathy for Simon.
I still had it, but there was part of me that was like,
Because as a person who lived in the closet, I get it. Like, that's a secret you want to hold on to until you are ready. And the fact that you have someone who knows your secret who is using it against you,
that was fucked up.
is scary because you don't know what's gonna happen. Right. You have no idea when you come out to your family or your friends whether you're gonna have family or friends anymore.
Right.
And so as a person who's been there, I was like, man, the whole movie I was like, my heart was racing because I'm like, fuck, like what if he does get outed? Like this whole school could turn against him, his friends could turn against him, his family could turn against him. And so for me personally, I was like, fuck, like I get why you're doing this. I wish you would stop, but I also wholeheartedly understand why you have done this.
And that's why I said I respected the movie more at the end when they, or towards the end or so, when they acknowledged it, and his friends were like, bruh, like I understand you gay, whatever, but you can't fuck with our lives like this. Because like I said, there was a part where it's like, whatever's going on, halfway through he's supposed to be his friends and he was manipulating them.
Yeah, there's so much. That's such a loaded thing.
I don't want to come off like a fucking, you know, bigoted asshole, but that's just from the standpoint of being a person. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't relate to having, you know, that secret, but just off of watching the movie,
it's as a moviegoer,
I was like, dude, these your friends, man. Like
that don't mean shit. I'm sorry, that means nothing.
Because it was like I'm rooting for Simon. I feel for you, Simon. Martin is an asshole, and in the grand scheme of things, I still want you to come out on top, even though you are manipulating your friends like in a bad way, and the little bit of what you're doing to them is nowhere near the magnitude of what's happening to you. But there is still that little bit of like, I guess I can't fully understand.
It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit.
Because it was just a level of
friends don't mean shit. Family don't mean shit.
That's what I mean.
Like honestly, it having something like that weighing on you, it makes you do dumb shit, and like that's why the whole movie, I'm like, the first time and the second time, I'm like, dude, you are making the stupidest decisions. But then I'm like, well, fuck. Like, who's to say if somebody had found out my secret when I was still in the closet, and like was like, well, I'm gonna blackmail you to get XYZ thing. Who's to say I wouldn't have fucking been like, well, shit, I gotta do this because I'm not ready for people to know this. And it's messy and it's stupid and it's ridiculous, but like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? Because I don't even know if these people are gonna care about me after they know this. You know? So like, yeah, we're friends. Like, he had been friends with Nick and Leia for his entire life.
Right, he said 13 years.
Yeah, and so
right.
You can't assume that everybody will be okay. You can't assume that the movie could have went a completely different direction, and he could have been like, look, Martin is trying to fucking blackmail me because he knows I'm gay and he wants to get with Abby. And his friends could have been like, whoa, you're gay?
Yeah, they could have totally turned on him.
And it would have been a completely different movie. And so I still can't be like, God, why would you do that? Because if somebody was trying to blackmail me in high school, I probably would have been like, sorry friends, like, I don't even know if I really care about me.
Like I said, that's the only thing with me with that. Is like I said, I don't want to come off like, you know, being prejudiced as fuck because I don't feel like I am. Obviously, the person, not just me, but the person cannot say they're prejudiced. The people around them usually will let you know. Yeah. So hopefully I'm not. I don't come off that way. I don't think I am. But what I would say is, like I said, just as the movie goer, like I said, I cannot imagine the magnitude of having that type of secret weighing on your conscience. But I would say, just as the movie goer of watching it, if it didn't necessarily deal with these issues, although can you really relate this to something else? But just off of a movie goer, it's like, you know, I guess you can excuse the selfishness, but it's like their relationships and all that stuff are nowhere near the magnitude of, you know, being in the closet, but you're still manipulating, and these are supposed to be your homies. That was my only thing with that. So, but like I said, I respected the movie because it wasn't just, oh, Simon, no, they were like, for a second, they were like, nah, bro, that is not okay. But then later on, they came to understand. But that was like, I was like, okay, good for you for being like, no, what the fuck, Simon?
One of the things I love the most about the movie is how realistic it is in just about everything that it does.
It felt pretty real.
In his communications with Blue and wanting to know who Blue is, but you know,
and having that one person that you can
confide that you can talk to, and just like even just like little stuff, how they show little shots of like teenagers on their cell phones, like fucking the one out gay kid getting picked on the whole time, and he's so confident in himself, he's just like, fuck you, like like everything in the movie. It's one-sided in a lot of ways because it only shows one perspective of being an LGBT person, but it also shows it shows a lot of the positive side and some of the negative side of it.
Now, the one thing that I'm not faulting the movie for this. I just would have thought that it would have been interesting to see Simon came from a loving family, but it would have been interesting to see in the father-son dynamic if his father, just out of curiosity, I would have just been kind of interested to see if his dad wasn't as okay with it at
We've
first.
seen enough of that.
And then had to come around. You know?
We have seen so much of that. And like in total honesty, that is what happens in the movie.
Like at first,
his dad is like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, oh, you're gay. Who did it? Like, he makes a joke out of a defense mechanism because he doesn't know how to process it.
True.
And then later, he's like, fuck, I said stupid jokes. I did stupid things. Goddamn, I love you.
Let alone the fact that I just couldn't even like tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't like.
And he felt bad about it.
Right,
he really did.
He wasn't resenting Simon at all. He legit was like, oh, I said something that probably offended you, and I'm legit sorry about that. Like, he felt like it was his fault.
And it was realistic too, because they showed early on, even in just that clip where he said my dad isn't, the manliest dude ever. They showed you that his dad was that type of person and they had that type of relationship.
Yeah.
So it's believable when it comes around later that his dad would feel that way towards his son, even in just a clip. That's the one thing I did really, really like about this movie, period, was there was a lot, like you said, little stuff, like just the overhead shot of getting the coffee and the number of cups was such a big deal.
It was 1 and then it was 5.
Right, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
The number and then another thing, and I saw this in the previews, but in the movie too, when he's finally okay, he's out and he's like accepting himself as being gay, and he crosses the line. So it's like crossing that line to like fuck it. Yeah, that was a big thing too.
And then the carnival, when it's the reveal of who Blue is when he's on the Ferris wheel. And there's everything is just like blue in the carnival. There's blue lights, there's blue balloons, and then everywhere. It's just so much like subtle foreshadowing.
And so like you also get there's 4 different people throughout the film that you think Blue might be. There's who it actually is. It was Keenan Mondale's.
That was another good thing too, with the red herrings. The red herrings they threw at you.
Yeah, blue herrings. But like in the beginning of the movie, when he thinks that it's Bram, you notice that his eraser cap is blue. And then when you think it's Lyle, the guy that works at Waffle House, if you look, you see that the record player in the Waffle House is blue.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there was, I forget who it was, but it's the guy who played piano. I can't remember that one. But like you see little hints of like, is this blue? Is this blue? Is this blue? And of course, every time blue, quote unquote, is on screen, there's a blue tint to the screen.
Right.
So like,
and then also the fact that you see in Simon's imagination of who Blue is, he starts. They show on screen the people reading the letters.
Yeah, and
that was very clever. That was really good.
Go ahead, Patrick.
I was just saying, I love how Graham, he's the first.
Bram.
Is Graham?
It's Bram. B-R-A.
Is it
as in fucking the dude that wrote Dracula?
Abraham.
Okay, I thought it was Graham. Well, Bram, he's the first suspect of being Blue, but then he sees him in the bedroom with the girl, and he's like, he's straight.
Like,
he's having sex. And it turns out Bram is Blue. And I love that they throw you off
because you originally think
it's like a circle, and then he runs up to get on the Ferris wheel with him, and it's immediately evident that it's
he almost left him ass out too, man. It was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, he really did. And like that was one thing I also really loved about this movie is that it had a happy ending, because
happy as hell.
Ending, and like as much as I love that,
Call by Your Name didn't have the whole person being gay fucks up their life ending.
Yeah, but it
didn't have a happy ending because they were estranged and left alone.
Well, I mean, fucking Oliver's getting married at the end of
Right.
And
spoilers for Conan.
Sorry. But anyway, back to Love, Simon. I just like that we got an LGBT movie, and I'm sure there's plenty. I haven't seen very many LGBT movies, to be completely honest. But like, it's nice to see that in 2018 we can get a movie that has a happy ending, and of course it's based on the book, all that nonsense. But to see it done correctly to see the nervousness between the two of them as they roll up the Ferris wheel, and how like he's like, shit, it's me. Are you okay with this? Because you could very well not be okay with this. You don't know who I was. You didn't know who I was until now. And it's like, you know
the
what?
fact that it's like I was right under your nose too.
Yeah, like they were friends. Like they knew each other. They hung out all the time. But I personally have to talk about the scene where he comes in talking to Jennifer Garner.
I was gonna bring that up.
Plays Jennifer Garner and Josh Duhamel plays.
I don't know if you heard me. I was crying.
I was right next to you. I heard you like
yeah. I cried harder the second time than I did the first time. But so he comes in. It's after he's come out to his family, his friends, he's been exposed to the entire school. Everything, everybody knows. And he comes in and he asks his mom, "Did you know?" And she goes into this speech of, I knew you had a secret. No, she starts off with, I knew you had a secret. When you were a kid, you were so carefree. And I thought she was going to go into this whole thing that a lot of parents or a lot of relatives go into. Well, yeah, when you were younger, I always thought you were a little, but it was, I'm not gonna cry. It turned into this whole moment of, you were so carefree, and then through the last couple of years, it felt like you were holding your breath. And when I watched that the first time, I thought back to when I was in the closet, and I'm like, fuck.
You felt that way?
Yeah,
wow.
It feels like it literally feels like you're just like walking around like,
wow.
Like, and so, fuck, god damn it, no.
We can talk if you want to take a break.
No, I need to talk about this because like, I am fortunate enough to have it coming out very similar to Simon. I told my mom and she was just like, okay, like I love you, like you're still who you are. But what she says, she goes, you know, you were so carefree over the last couple of years, I feel like you were holding your breath. And she was like, when you came out, you said to me, you know, I'm still me. And she goes, I need you to hear this. You're still you. And you get to exhale now. And like that moment, and then he takes a deep breath and he exhales. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not notice that.
But like I'm gonna try the words.
I'm gonna try the words.
In all of my 25 years of life, whether it's
24, that a bitch.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, friend.
Go ahead. All your 25 years of life.
Whether it be in real life, in a movie, in a book, in whatever, I have never felt more physically, mentally, emotionally connected to a line in anything than that.
Okay.
It was because like that's what it is. Like, and before that, she says all the stuff about, you know, you being gay. That's you. You have to. There are things that you have to figure out for yourself. You're gonna be alone in this, and that's what it is. Like, there's so much being a gay man, being a bisexual man, and you just have to figure the fuck out. Like, nobody's gonna help you with it. Nobody can help you with it. And the fact that it's like, okay, once you come out, you can just breathe. It's such a little thing. It's such a minuscule idea to people who don't have to worry about it. But for me, being able to take that deep breath after I told my mom that I was bisexual, and her being like, okay, like, it's like a whole new everything. It's like the air is different. And that
wow.
line, like, fucking A, tears go away. God damn it. That one line really just encapsulated for me being an LGBT person.
Wow. See, and that's something that I did not know.
Like,
I really did not know.
It just like, fucking, no, we're not gonna do this. We are not gonna do this today.
I'm telling you, you don't have to keep talking.
So I want to thank the author of Simon and the Homo Sapien Agenda. I want to thank the person that wrote Love Simon for the screen. I want to thank Jennifer Garner and Nick Robinson and everybody that was in this movie for putting into words something that I don't think has ever been put into words properly. So yeah, thank you for that. From Darius. From the same difference from Darius. Thank you for that. And I'm gonna stop now because I can feel the tears coming out of my face.
Well, this might be the most emotional sleep in the third row.
A very special sleep in the third row. No, but no. Real quick, then I want to ask you real quick.
Okay, are you gonna make me cry?
No, hopefully not. Hopefully without getting too deep into it, so we can move on to the rating and not make this a long ass episode because I'm trying to do that now. Do you think that the dad's monologue, this may be a spoiler for Call Me By Your Name, but the dad's monologue and Call Me By Your Name is as comparable to that one? Because both of them are special.
It's different.
And because both of them are special about, you know, and it's almost like, for me, it seemed as though whoever wrote these screenplays or adapted these screenplays, they wrote certain monologues, and maybe these specific ones, the dad at the end of Call Me By Your Name, and maybe even this one with Jennifer Garner, as though they were speaking to the audience.
That is very true.
That's how I took it. It was like, yeah, okay, I'm speaking to Simon, I'm speaking to what's his name, Elio, but it's like I'm really speaking to the audience to let, you know, like I'm letting the character know, but I'm really letting the viewer know. Listen to me, people out there. This is all right, and that's how I took it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. However, the two monologues are talking about two different things.
They are, yes.
Because,
but I'm saying, do you think that the magnitude, or I guess it just depends on who you are.
I don't know, because Elio's father's monologue is very much about pain. Yeah, it's about existing in pain and knowing that, you know, this is something that's possibly a part of who you are and you deal with it. Whereas Jennifer Garner's monologue is very much, you are who you are and live in that, and you're gonna be alone, but I love you. And Call Me By Your Name is not about coming out. Call Me By Your Name is not about being gay. Call Me By Your Name is about love. It's about two characters who just so happen to be male meet, and by having chance they fall in love. Because before that, I don't think either of them had an experience with a woman. Oliver probably did, but I don't think Elio had an experience with another man before that.
I believe that.
And
as far as like the way the story goes.
Yeah, but Love, Simon is about coming out.
Yeah, honestly, the way I took it, I took the crux of Love, Simon is the reason why anybody can watch this movie, whatever your, you know, fucking gender, sexuality, whatever, age, race, anybody can watch this movie because the movie is about just everybody's want as a human just to be accepted. That's how I looked at it. Like, I know it has the coming out, but I look at it as like,
I can't give you that.
No?
Only because...
And that's not me trying to take anything away from...
But that's kind of...
I really don't want
inherently, that's what it is.
Okay.
Because this movie is about LGBT people. Okay. This is about us. And as much as it's giving that message of love and acceptance, it's love and acceptance for us.
Okay.
And I
respect that.
I am one that is 100% for everybody loving everybody. Anybody can get any message from the movie. And it can very well be giving that message. But specifically, the specificity of this movie is you can come out and you can be okay and you will be loved.
Okay.
So
I respect it. Okay.
I give it that it does preach acceptance because that is what it's about. But at the heart of it, the soul of it is that you can be an LGBT person and people will still love you.
Which is true. This is very true. Do you want to rate it first? Or?
Two things.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Jeremy hasn't talked much this review.
You guys were just going.
Although we're already way past our time.
I'm over it at this point.
Two things I hope come out of this movie. Since it is...
Students. No, okay.
Since it is it's rather successful right now. Love Simon as of now, it's doing pretty good.
Oh, no, it's good. Like, seriously.
I hope that LGBT bashers and parents with LGBT children.
You were saying this in the
who know their children are but haven't accepted it or like cool with it. I don't know if they would go see a movie when they know it's like this, but I hope they see this movie and just realize how tough it is, like, for LGBT people to come out like that and be afraid
it's so hard.
And I hope those people see this movie and just realize that it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. And the second is that I hope Nick Robinson, who plays Simon, gets a lot more work after this movie because he's a fantastic actor and he did an Oscar-worthy job in this movie.
The acting for everybody in this movie was good, but as the lead, he kicked ass.
It probably won't happen. It probably won't happen, but I hope he gets nominated for Best Actor for the Oscars.
He had a lot of subtleties that were very believable.
No, he was Oscar worthy. He was fantastic.
Fantastic. No, he was very real.
The one thing that I hope comes out of this movie, I want the internet to work its magic and bring Keenan Lonsdale to me.
If you're watching,
I am in love with that man. I just think he is a magical human being, and I just want him in my life. So, all of our viewers, tweet this video, link it to him. Let us know there is a single bisexual black man in St. Louis that is looking for it. Okay, all right.
He goes by Dieter Bionic.
I go by Dieter Bionic. I follow you on social media. I comment on all your pictures.
You really do.
I do. Like, it's like kind of sad. I'm legitimately in love with this man from a distance. It's awful. It's actually pretty bad.
Sounds like my Supermoon phase for a minute.
I think it's a lot less lust.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're I love you.
If ever the chance happened to where I could date this man and like fall in love and marry him, absolutely, hands down. So again, internet, I see y'all out there. Make it happen. No, I will rate the movie first, and I'm gonna rate this movie a 10.
I expected you to. Because you seem like you got really affected.
For a number of reasons. It is very realistic. It is a great adaptation. I'm only halfway through the book, but it is a great adaptation. Keenan Lonsdale is in it. That monologue from Jennifer Garner alone, this specifically you get to breathe now, you get to exhale now, Simon, is like 9 of my points. And like the movie itself is the other 9. I want to rate it.
You want to rate it 18?
I want to rate it off the scale in like a positive way, but I feel like that would cheapen how I feel about this movie.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rate this movie a 10 because it is just beautiful. And I initially, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, I'll give it a 9. Like, I don't know, but watching it a second time, it is a full-on 10. Yeah.
Alright, normally Jeremy goes first, so you want to go second?
Oh, yeah. I will also give it a 10.
Okay.
I thought, I am shocked at how much I like this movie. I knew I was going to like it. I knew going in I was going to be like, this is going to be a good movie, but damn, I was getting teary-eyed towards the end. I was really into it in some parts. Like, I was really like glued to the screen in certain parts. This is just a beautifully made movie. So well written. So fucking well written. Very well directed.
The storytelling was very good.
Yes. And all the performances, I can't think of one. All the performances were grade A. Grade A. This is a very, very much Oscar-worthy movie, I think, but it probably won't get that recognition because it's mainly seen as a teen movie by everyone.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because it can honestly be a regular drama. Or not drama. What is a drama? Dramedy. A dramedy. and it's being marketed like hell as a teen movie, like as like a teens. This is for teenagers.
And there were a lot of teens in the theater,
and there were
a lot of older people in the theater.
Right.
And when I saw it the first time, there were a lot of older people in the theater that were just like old, old. I'm talking old people, like upwards of 60 plus old people. The first time I saw this movie, and I was like, "What y'all do? Thank you."
And
they were crying too.
You know, obviously it is kind of a teen movie. It does have those teen movie tropes in it. It really does, just with an LGBT character. But it can honestly also be seen as dramedy, like I said. It's just a very well-made movie, and I'm so glad a movie exists like this for LGBT people. It's great to have a movie like this come out and be this good and be this powerful, this well-written, well-acted, well-directed, just everything all around. I hope Josh Duhamel does movies more like this instead of Transformers, because he's so much better than those movies.
Great.
This movie proves,
honestly, so great.
Love Simon proves that he is better than Transformers movies. So Josh Duhamel, do more good movies like this, please.
His whole
he made the good, typical dad.
But a great experience is when we left the theater after we used the restroom. There was this couple, these two women, that just I could tell they came from Love Simon. They just hugged. They gave each other a really loving hug.
Looked at each other loving.
Yeah, and then walked, and that warmed my heart. I'm so glad.
That could be it.
They're going like, I'm so cool. What? What'd you say?
Keep going.
What'd he say?
No, he said like that could be us, Keenan.
But no, fantastic movie. 10 out of 10. Honestly, I probably won't go to the show to see it again, but I am gonna buy it when it comes out.
I might see it.
It's fantastic.
Jack?
I mean, I'm not gonna give it a 10. I'm not.
That's fine.
I can't. That's fine. I did love the movie. I was really surprised with how much I did really enjoy this movie. Because I was expecting it to be okay, you know, or at least like, but not. I didn't expect it to be this good.
I honestly didn't expect you to like it as much as you do either.
Well, I mean, I expected to like it, but just not as much as like I did like it. The storytelling was good, like I said, because the shots were very interesting. Like, I mean, if we even talk about it on a technical standpoint,
yeah, the cinematography
was very interesting. Like I said, the symbolism of just the cups, the blue, like what we already talked about with that part. So that was already good.
It was
great.
It was all subtle. It wasn't like in your face. Exactly. Like, oh, do you see the blue? Do you see the cups? It's right there.
Which is the reason why I appreciated it even more so.
It's very subtle.
You know, just on the simple fact that he was like, when I go to college, I'll be gay, and they do that whole dance sequence.
That was cool. Maybe not that gay.
He said maybe not that gay.
That was good.
The fact that everybody's wearing rainbow, and he's like got the gray, and I guess that's symbolism of he hasn't, you know, fully done it yet, and everybody's dancing around him, and they're like professional dancers, and he's like finding his way. I can't really get it.
I don't know if this is the kind of gay I'm a bit.
That was like that was great. You know, like it was really good. Just like all of that stuff was really good. I will say that there are there's something I can't necessarily put my finger on why I can't give it a 10, but there are two reasons I can definitely say why I could not fully give it a 10 right now.
Extrapolate.
And I hate to single out people at El Momento.
Well, first up, what's your rating?
Well, I'll get to that. No.
Oh, you're building it up. He's building it up. I'm scared.
But no, so like I said, the reason fuck you. But no, the reason why like I said, there's one reason I can't put my finger on it. Like it was like, well, at one point it did feel a little long to me. I will say that. It felt like it was about maybe 15 minutes, a little long for me at some point. Or it started not necessarily long, but it started to drag a little bit. Just a little bit. Not even that much, but a little bit. Something I can't put my finger on, but then like I said, there's two reasons. Those two reasons. One, as much as I like the director of the play,
oh, I know exactly.
Some of the dialogue that she said in a few of those points was like, okay, nobody, all right, this is funny.
The vice principal, man.
But yeah, I love Tony Hale, but bruh,
I love both of those characters.
The theater teacher was fucking.
It was a bit motherfucking much because I can accept and accept. I can right. I can deal with old girl. But my dude, man, it was like, bruh. At first, it was like, who is this guy? It's kind of funny. Second, okay. By the third, fourth time, it was like, all right, sit your ass down, man.
If I could say real quick, I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see a serious, dramatic moment with the vice principal. So all his goofiness and everything. We never got like a real, like, serious, like,
You got a little bit.
Just a little bit when he was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was nice. But I'm talking about like a full conversation with Simon about it and everything. I wanted to see something like that, but it just ended up with him being goofy again. So it's kind
and I think that's realistic. I think because all people aren't gonna get serious about it.
It's true.
No. But what I mean is,
I'm looking at this one straight up.
No, you're fine.
No, straight up.
But no, God. But no, what I mean is, at first, like I said, he was funny because he was weird and goofy, but then they started doing it so much to the point where it was like, all right, nobody talks like this, and this is a movie, but sit your ass down. Like, that's like, after a while, it was like,
I didn't feel like
because it was funny. It was funny the first few times, but
I loved every time he was on screen.
So yeah.
I was very happy with him being.
But like I said, even to go back to the storytelling, like the fact that after Martin shares his posts, because Martin fucks up his own chance with Abby, dumbass.
He never had a chance anyway. No, he never had a chance.
But to do it in front of the whole school,
the way he did it made it even worse.
That made me so happy.
But no,
she was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Yeah."
But
I couldn't feel sorry for him.
The storyteller when Simon walks into school for the first time and it slows down and you see the eyes.
Everyone's looking.
That was like, and they did it from first person, so it was like the audience was Simon for that moment.
Right.
No, it was brilliant shit, man. So I was debating on whether.
You're not allowed to give this movie a 0.5.
Fuck you.
You gotta settle on one or the other.
Fuck you. You let me finish talking before you interrupt me, so please. Thank you.
You gotta settle on one or the other. Continue.
Thank you, sir. So I was debating on whether.
Let him go. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I was debating on whether I could give this movie an 8 or a 9. I could not.
Don't do it.
Like I said, I couldn't give it a 10.
Don't do it.
And since I've been here with y'all, thinking about it, even though you pissed me off now, motherfucker.
Hey, I cried. You gotta give this movie not a 0.5.
Let me fucking finish. My rating was picked before we even started talking, so I'm gonna say what I said.
Go ahead, bitch.
I give the movie 9.
Yes. Oh, good. Yeah, praise Jesus.
Seriously. Because I thought about giving it an 8.5 at one point, but I was like, no. It's a 9. Really?
That's great. I do wanna, before we go and like pick all the shits, I do wanna call out acknowledge, speaking of the teacher, the theater teacher, the moment after Simon has come out and like the two bully characters in the movie are like do that whole stunt in the cafeteria and she fucking reads them for filth. And yeah, I had to. That was like...
That was a great moment.
It was a great moment because she was being funny, but she also was like, nah, you are the two assholes that just did that shitty thing in front of the whole school and nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. And then like, walk. Like the way she said walk, I was like, I almost started walking.
And what made it good too was when they were like, you can't talk to us like this, and it was like, no, because what the fuck you did, you don't get respect from the student teacher, like respect, fuck you.
Right.
So no, that was nice. That was nice.
I just wanted to acknowledge that moment too because it was just like I was like, bro.
But no, seriously, like you were saying, like you didn't think I liked this movie as much as I did. No, like I said, just on the standpoint of just the storytelling aspect and the technical like aspect of being a movie, it was good, and then what it stands for, even more so.
Right. So,
because honestly, even if it was a shitty movie, you know, just the fact that having that like what it stands for, and then the fact that it's a great movie, period.
Great.
Like Call Me by Your Name.
That name is so fucking good.
So I mean,
for a completely different reason. All right, so we give this movie 9.5 Halloween Oreos out of 10.
At the end of the day, it somehow still got a 0.5 in there.
Fucking A.
It's a great.
It's
great
worth seeing.
Thank you.
Great movie. Go see it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's worth seeing.
Also, remember what I said the other day. Make it happen. I believe in you all. Very much. Yes.
Whatever your age or whatever, color, whatever your sexuality is, just a good movie.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, that being said,
thank you for watching.
no, I'm good.
Don't bring that back. Don't
I'm
bring that
cutting
back.
that out of this review.
Don't bring that back.
Alright, bye guys.
You
Alright.
got your thing.
You didn't do it last time.
Alright, y'all. As always,
Bye.
See ya. Same difference. And stay different differentials.
Sweep this tequila jail. What the fuck is that even supposed to be?
he ain't coming after that shit.
I'm not really friends with him. It's okay. I want you to love me.